Well, we're taking into it the great concerns of our ferry workers in Brisbane, and they're on 5 major points. The 5 major points are a wage rise, it's about roster manipulation. For example, the masters of the Brisbane ferries have suffered a 25% wage drop in the last 3 years because the company have manipulated the rosters to such an extent that workers' lives have been made distraught by the effects of roster manipulation. The other issue that we have, a major issue, is with 3-person crews on the Brisbane City Cats. The Transdev, the transnational operator of these vessels, is attempting to reduce the crews down to 2, which will have a massive effect on the safety of those vessels, which carry 5.5 million Brisbane people, commuters and tourists a year, and they want to cut down on the safety manning of those vessels. It's intolerable. The other issues we have are around safe parking for crews late at night and getting a decent pay rise out of them. But the main issues that we see are those ones, and they're just simple, decent issues. The workers at Brisbane Ferries have only averaged a 1.3% wage rise since in the last 5 years.
So what's the pay rise you're after?
We're trying to get something around about 6% a year, and
do
that'll
you
only
see-
bring
what
them
do
up.
You see the mayor coming back with 3%?
Okay, what we said, we wanted to speak to the Lord Mayor today because we wanted to speak to the butcher, not the block. We wanted to speak to the person who actually pays the bills of Transdev. We're sick of Transdev. We're sick of the way that they're manipulating and trying to break workers' lives down to casualise the entire industry. We've had an absolute gutful of them. The work that my Deputy Branch Secretary Jason has done with the Brisbane Ferries, we have a great group of people who do a great service for the people of Brisbane. We want that service to continue uninterrupted, but we have to stand up and fight. We just want the people of Brisbane to understand this is our absolute... we're only doing this because we have to, okay? This company has been absolutely intractable. They have made it impossible for us to do anything else but to take legal protected industrial action. We're sorry for the inconvenience, but the people of Brisbane, the commuters of Brisbane, we'd be much more, we hope that they place their anger towards Transdev and not towards the decent, hard-working ferry people in ferry workers in Queensland, in Brisbane.
You just had a meeting with ferry workers as well as the union. How'd that go?
Yeah, well, with the MOU, I met our meeting this morning, as I do with any industrial organisation that wants to meet with me. They were frank in terms of their views in relation to where they see things going for the maritime workers on city cats and ferries, and I appreciated the frankness of their view. Obviously, this though is a contract between Transdev and that of the employees, and the Transdev organisation have to continue to negotiate with the employees.
But surely you could pressure Transdev to come to a solution to avoid thousands of passengers being impacted tomorrow morning.
It's a matter for Transdev. We require them to negotiate with the employees. It's up to them at the end of the day as the contractor to find a settlement, and if they can't, there's other means, arbitration and otherwise, for doing so.
But how inconveniencing is this to thousands of commuters tomorrow morning?
Well, the reality is that we have a contingency plan in place, and that contingency means that City Cats will continue to run at 30-minute intervals. We'll have the hoppers still continuing to run, though at a lesser frequency, and there will be a normal service from Bulimba to Tenerife.
So, as a percentage, how much of tomorrow's scheduled ferry services will operate?
Well, there'll probably be about half the operation we expect, but nonetheless there will be ferry services and City Cats operating. But again, this is not a matter for me to step in and make decisions about. It is a matter for the contractor to continue to negotiate with the employees.
Contractors aside, this is following on from the bus industrial action last year. You now have the ferries. I mean, passengers are fed up now, surely.
Well, there's always potential for industrial action, but at the same time, I'm not going to step in to the point of having ratepayers foot the bill. It's a matter for the contractor to continue to negotiate with the unions, and that is my main concern at the moment, that they continue to do that. They do it in good faith, and they have a fair deal on the table.
One of the contractors' major concerns is that they allege that Transdev's trying to casualise the workforce, remove full-time workers, and also change the amount of people that are on a ferry, staff, from 3 down to 2. What is your personal view on that?
Well, look, again, this is a matter for the contract. It's a matter between.
Ferries, aren't they?
This
These
is a
are
matter.
Brisbane City Council ferries. So, what's your view on those 2 main sticking points?
We pay a contractor to deliver. We don't pay a contractor to have me step in and solve all the problems. Otherwise, there's no point in having a contract. Now, this is not unusual. There are contracts all over the place in this country, from government sectors to private contractors. And if government was stepping in every time private contractor had a dispute, then the taxpayers and ratepayers of this country would be a long, long way out of pocket. I'm not about to do that. So I certainly heard the issues this morning. I will be passing the details of those concerns on to Transdev. But at the end of the day, as the contractor, they have to negotiate with the employees.
If it's all up to Transdev, why did you meet with them this morning and step in?
Because I've never refused to meet with an industrial organisation in all of the time that I've been Lord Mayor.
Do you see any possibility that this strike could be called off by tomorrow morning?
Well, I think that's highly unlikely at this stage. I mean, the unions have indicated, and the employees have indicated they want to take up their right to take industrial action. It's protected industrial action. And so I think it will proceed tomorrow. We've indicated that there will be a contingency plan in place, though the services won't operate to normal capacity.
Does that contingency extend to buses? In terms of extra bus services, so more services on other mode networks?
Look, there will be a limited number of buses that will be operating, but again, most of our buses are out on the road network in the peak period anyway, so there's a very limited supply of buses that can continue to operate.